Hello my Cancer Collective and welcome to the Allegory. My name's Erin. Today we're going to be doing a really fun August general tarot reading. I'm an intuitive tarot reader and I've picked up this really fun reading. It's a Pedro Pascal spread. Vic Maxwell over at New Age Hipster 333 created this, and I asked her if I could take it and use it for this month's readings because I thought it was just really adorable and fun. I just saw Pedro Pascal in the Fantastic Four, and great film, so I put my blues on. I actually also wanted to use the sarsaparilla deck, which has got wonderful space themes. So I feel like it's all these energies, vibes, feelings coming together. It's quite a short and sweet spread, but we will clarify cards, we will pull extras, so you get all the meanings, everything you want to know. Page of Swords. Oh, stay curious, Cancer, stay curious. Perhaps there's something you learned during your birthday season that you want to explore now that we're in Leo. Venus in Cancer went into transition on the 30th of July, so that's about love, looking at your relationship with yourself, your finances, things that beautify your home. It's a really, really lovely energy, so I hope you're making the most of that. It is there, I think, until August 25th, so most of the month of August you will have the charming Venus in Cancer energy. I actually have that in my chart. I have my Venus in Cancer, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it brings for me over the next coming weeks as well. I am a Gemini, if you're new here and didn't know. So what we're going to do is we're going to pull 4 cards with 4 questions, and then we're going to clarify with the second deck, and then we're going to pull a mystery card as well at the very start to see what is the plot twist, what do you need to know. Speaking of plot twist, Tower card. Cancer, what's going on? Are you creating a tower? Is a tower moment happening in your life? Let's take a look. I want to go through a couple of channeled messages first before we get into this. I'm feeling a little bit messy, I'm feeling a little bit experimental. I don't normally do that with my cards either. But as I was sitting down channeling the message for the collective and what we're going to look at today, I was really looking at my ring, which I actually picked up in Santorini, and it made me think of the Palace of Knossos, of the maze, of the Minotaur, and who is making you a villain in their story. It's time to rise up. It's time to free yourself from that mental maze and become your own hero and transition into who you really are, what you believe to be true, what you believe to be fair, letting go of those negative spirals. If you're in toxic relationships or karmic relationships, don't forget karmic relationships and twin flames can show up quite similarly, so it's very wise for you to take a look at that. Karmic relationship could be teaching you about what you need to know in this lifetime to heal and move forward, and twin flames can also obviously do the same. Sometimes reunite, sometimes you don't, sometimes you're just mirroring each other's energy, and when you're in that space, it's a mirror to show what you can do to grow spiritually, emotionally. So there's a lot of energy. We're in Mercury retrograde at the moment. It's Mercury retrograde in Leo, which is about previous relationships, how we can learn from those and how we can grow and move forth, and what we can close out in one cycle to begin something fresh and something new. If you don't like these kinds of messages, do skip ahead. You'll see me pull cards in just a couple of minutes. And then I also got the message, as we're in Leo season, I was thinking of the lion and the idea of picking your pack wisely, your support team wisely. And then I also got the message about maintaining your energy for the big event, conserving your energy. You know, the lion doesn't attack all the time. He's got a team around him to attack for him. So it's about conserving your energy for the right timing, striking when the iron's hot. And then I got this idea of because I was thinking of this Pedro Pascal spread for a couple of weeks. I'm really energized to do it today. And when I was looking at Vic's Instagram page, she was using Bring Sexy Back, and I'm thinking, yes, let's look at this. How can we bring sexy back by the end of August, Cancer? What can you do? What can you harness? What energies are there? Let's take a look at your August general reading. Your first question that's coming up is, what can you do? The Pedro Pascal spread, what can you do? How can you calm yourself down? Let's take a look. First card, 8 of Pentacles. The next card is how to be your own daddy. I love this. Ooh, definitely letting go of some sort of heartbreak, loss, things that make you don't feel good about yourself, maybe a little self-hate. And then we're going to look at how can you manifest your desires? Interesting. Gemini got exactly the same card in exactly the same position. 10 of Wands burdens, releasing. This feels like a big let go month for you. You're going to be so much lighter at the end of August, Cancer. And then finally, if you could ask Pedro Pascal anything in this moment, what would he say to you? You've got 2 cards that want to come. Okay, let's take a look. Bottom of the deck, 2 of Cups. Interesting. Venus and Cancer energy. We were just talking about Venus moving into the sign of Cancer on July 30. This is the soulmate connection. This feels like something fresh. It feels like there's this element of letting go, letting flow, and maybe something new coming in, or focusing on a current connection or commitment. Let's take a look at your plot twist card for the month of August, and we will reveal this at the end of your reading. What's your plot twist card? It's that one, whatever that is. I'm curious as to what the bottom of the deck is on this one as well. 10 of Coins, abundance, material wealth, setting up your legacy. So I feel like there's a lot to let go and a lot to move on with, but let's take a look, Cancer, at everything. We're in Mercury retrograde right now. Mercury retrograde, if you're not unsure, is the ruling planet of Gemini and Virgo. He rules, it's a masculine energy, he rules the communication and technology. And the reason I paused just then is I thought for a moment I had not hit record on the main camera. So for you, if you're a photographer, if you work in tech, if you work in film, whatever it is, back up, back up, back up, save your hard drives, double check your charging, double check your batteries. There's something there for someone who's regularly doing work with technology. But let's take a look at your card. In order to how to calm yourself down, it looks like there's a little bit of self-worth that needs to be taking place here. We have the 8 of Pentacles, which is about head down, bum up, focusing on yourself, focusing on your work, focusing on bringing in your income. Perhaps you're feeling a little bit anxious about your finances at the moment. So in order to feel less anxious, maybe it's about focusing on what you can control, on how you can bring in your coin. Let's clarify with the Pagan and Other Worlds Tarot deck for Cancer. 8 of Pentacles. How can they calm themselves down with the 8 of Pentacles? Looks like you've got some work to do, that's for sure. Sorry, it's the cards, it's not me. And then we have 5 of Swords. Ignoring any niggy, nelly, nasty conversations. Taking what you know and moving on. Taking the higher ground. Any gossip, slander, move away from that. Move away from the turmoil, the nasty looking beach, those nasty clouds that are in this energy. And it's time for you to just move on. Take your truth. Balance your head and your heart and your thoughts, and let go of this conflict. Interesting that you've got that, the way this particular card is demonstrating that you've got the 2 of Swords here, which can be a little bit of indecision, unsure which way to go, trying to balance head and heart ideas. And then you've got the 3 of Swords separated up here. Now, very interesting that in terms of how to be your own daddy, you actually got the 3 of Swords card here, which can be the heartbreak card, or it can be a lack of self-love. So what I'm thinking is that in order to calm yourself down, there could be some work you need to do, some shadow work perhaps with relationships and the way you view yourself, because the fact that you've got this 5 of Pentacles, which is negative conversation, ideas, conflict, quite toxic energy, you've got the 3 of Swords separated there. So I'm feeling there's definitely a link for what might be stressing you out. Could actually be something to do with heartbreak, previous relationship or connections. Works really well with our Mercury retrograde at the moment as well. And then in terms of how to be your own daddy, you've got the 3 of Swords. It's time to love in on yourself more. It's time to let go of those things that people said to you that you believe to be true, that have absolutely rocked your confidence and shaken your world and upset you so deeply emotionally you don't know which way to go, which is left or right, what is true, what is not true. It's interesting that I got those downloaded messages at the start for the overall collective of being your own hero and not being the villain in someone else's story and rising above that. This is a perfect time until August 11 is Mercury retrograde, and time to let go, heal the past and move on. Let's clarify this. In order to be your own daddy, it's time to love in on yourself, spend some more time on yourself, do what makes you feel happy. The gorgeous thing about when you are single is you've got time to focus on you, sometimes too much time. But if you're in a relationship and you're going through a really tough time, it's really about establishing those firm boundaries, what makes you happy, and healing those harsh words that have maybe been said in the recent past. King of Wands. One of the sexiest characters in the deck of cards, the King of Wands, is Leo, Sag, Aries energy. Someone very charismatic, very forthright, very passionate. It's time for you to embrace your inner Justin Timberlake bringing sexy back. It's time to be confident. It's time to move on. It's time to do whatever you can to feel more like that entrepreneurial, free spirit, empowered, passionate, committed to your cause. We've also got the Lion here as well, so definitely this Leo season energy, this fiery energy. It's about getting up, brushing yourself off, and letting go of that. I'm also being drawn to the King of Wands staff right now in this particular card, and how extraordinarily huge that Ace of Wands is. But that there's this new bloom. You've got these new sprigs of opportunity and hope. And there's such a focus on the future and the way this king is looking out of the cards there. Looking out towards the hard work that they know they're doing to go forth. Perhaps a little bit stuck in that Three of Swords energy if we look at the layout and where these cards are sitting. But also what I like is that there's quite a fierce determination to move on. And I do love that the Lion appears to be in shadow in this card as well. So it's releasing that shadow self and rebuilding your inner courage, your inner determination, your inner conviction. And now in terms of how to manifest your desires, let go of whatever is weighing you down, holding you back. If this is work and you're in a toxic work environment, it's delegating what you can to focus on your goals. If this is a relationship energy, then it's definitely releasing the baggage, tossing it in the Thames, throwing it out the plane window, going on a holiday, whatever it is that's going to help you release that burden. Perhaps it's talking to a good mate to focus on you. But in order to manifest your desires, you need to create energy. You need to release the energy that's taking up too much time and weighing you down, making you feel heartbroken or conflicted or confused as to where you are, who you are, what you're doing. Let's clarify the Ten of Wands in how to manifest your desires. Ten of Pentacles, focusing on your future, your long-term commitments, long-term goals, careers, what legacy you want to leave behind to your family, in your name. What is that? Let's take a look. Ten of Wands, Knight of Pentacles, planting the seed in a new direction and being so focused. And again, we're getting this idea of mirroring with this beast. This beast is in the shadow over here, but we really feel like this Knight of Pentacles is in harmony with this stallion. The Knights are all about action. Action on the kings, action on the queens, actions on emperor, empress. So it's taking action, but it's doing it slowly and assuredly. Maybe you feel burdened because something's taking too long. It's taking obviously the time it needs to ensure that you plant that seed in a really great spot that's going to germinate a positive future for you. Now, in terms of what Pedro needs you to know, Pedro is saying, bro, get out of your head. Eight of Swords is self-sabotage. It's creating barriers and blocks, mental barriers and blocks that don't exist, but it's something for you to release. You've got the Seven of Pentacles energy here, which also can be assessment. So I'm wondering if you've been assessing so much, you now got yourself in a state of mental fatigue and you're not sure where to go, especially because we've got all these ideas over here of how to calm yourself down. It's releasing that mental energy. Bottom of the deck, Five of Pentacles. You're feeling like you're left behind, not recognized, that people don't see you for your worth, who you are. Okay, Cancer, let's take a look. Why is the Eight of Swords here? Why does Pedro want you to think about this? Judgment. It's time to hear the call. Judgment is Scorpio energy. So definitely it's like whatever crazy wild ideas that you're having, follow those. Stop overthinking. It feels like you're a little bit in analysis paralysis right now. He's saying that you've got to free your mind. We've got the Hermit card, which is Virgo energy. So that really is about meditating, going within, taking yourself out from the fray. A couple of these cards we got for Gemini as well. So you may have Gemini in your chart or be closely linked with a Gemini person. But we've got this Hermit energy of, especially because we're also in Mercury retrograde season and Hermit's ruled by Virgo. Hermit is Virgo, ruled by Mercury. Sorry. But this idea of taking a step back in order to free yourself from this mental sabotage. It's saying, hear the call, whatever ideas you have, trust in those downloads and those meditative thoughts, that quiet time, because a hermit is about retreating to seek your own light and to seek what is true for you in a kind of more spiritual sense. I'm also being drawn to the parallels here. We've got the King of Swords holding on to his Ace of Wands. King of Wands, sorry, holding on to his Ace of Wands here. And they've got the Hermit holding on to the staff over here. So it's almost like there's this crutch. And I'm getting this downloaded message that between the Hermit and the King of Wands, they've both got their staff there. But the Wands is passion, fire, energy. And then the Hermit is spiritual. So it's really about balancing your energy and your momentum and your drive and how to get things done. And Pedro wants you to balance that passion, that fire and that zest with the spiritual part. As you uncover what is spiritually important to you or in your downtime that makes sense, it's then drive forward with that. And how to be your daddy is taking that time out to then drive forward in your passions and your desires. Let's take a look. You've got the bottom of the deck with the Two of Cups. We've got a couple of jumpers. We have King of Pentacles, very grounded, very firm. You could be dealing with Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy. So this could be someone that you're moving towards or an energy you're embracing, that you want to be a provider and a leader. And then you've got the World card. So the World is like closing out a cycle. It's completing something. It's the end of the Major Arcana. You've got quite a few Major Arcana cards here with the Hermit and Judgment and the World card. So it's this idea of closing out a cycle, starting something fresh, and starting something in a way with perhaps this soulmate energy that feels new, feels fresh. You've got enough love for yourself and they've got enough love for themselves. If you're in a connection where you're giving more to them than they're receiving, then it's time to reassess. It's trying to look at the future and where it is. The World is also online communication. It can also be travel. Yeah, let's look at your mystery card, Cancer. Four of Coins. You're holding on to something too tightly. The Four of Coins is not necessarily overthinking, but it's retaining, and it's retaining something too strong that prevents you from moving on. You had the Five of Pentacles, or Five of Coins, same words, that jumped out earlier, that feeling of being left behind. And you're holding on to something too tightly, and it's time to close out that cycle, Cancer, and move on in a really empowered way. I want to get you another card. I feel like your story's not done yet. Six of Swords, moving on with what you know to be successful. Let's get you one more card. Oh, two came. I told you there was there's messages coming. Okay, we have the Queen of Swords in the upright, and then we have the Page of Swords in reverse. So Queen of Swords is Gemini, Libra, Aquarius energy. It's the energy of someone who acts with a lot of integrity, a lot of truth, someone who is open to suggestion and ideas and hearing things, someone who thinks very, very clearly. You can see the clouds are only halfway up her body, and she's open to learning more, sharing more, and spreading the truth. We've also got all these like butterflies, which is like transformation in this image, and this open gesture that it's okay to speak your truth and what your truth is. But then we've got the Page of Swords in reverse, which is really interesting. Ordinarily, the Page of Swords can be this idea of curiosity, of learning something new, of sending a message. But in reverse, it's almost like this closed off energy. And I'm going to say that that's your advice. You know what you need to know. You've done so much analysis that you've got yourself in such a head state that you're not even sure how to communicate and communicate clearly. And it's interesting that these two came together, because look at those swords. One upright, and well, they're both upright, but with this one being in reverse, it's in reverse, right? So I'm almost getting like this yin and yang energy. That perhaps there's a message you want to send. Don't send it. Is a message for someone. Hold back. You need to speak your truth, but perhaps it's a conversation that needs to happen in person. I feel like there's two collectives here. One is definitely have that conversation, speak clearly, be your sovereign self. Keep your feet firmly on the ground. You can see her feet are at the bottom of her rock stone temple throne vibe there. And tread carefully with this communication. We've got a little bit of fog around her ankles. Watch your step, essentially. And then the Page of Swords, which is normally really curious, quite charming energy. As perhaps you'll receive a message that throws you on your head. Perhaps you'll receive a message that doesn't ring true to what you know. And also, perhaps it's time to stop spying on someone online or checking in via their friends. It's time to desist with this energy. It's only going to bring you more pain and more suffering. It really got so much Swords energy here, Cancer, which is not your space. So the extra message is for those who are having a conversation, have it in person and be open to sharing these ideas and being really clear in the way you say it. And then for other of you who are holding on to something too tightly, it's time to let go. It's time to stop messaging. It's time to just hold your ground and just move on in the month of August. Pedro Pascal wants you to feel sexy by the end of August. He wants you to bring sexy back. And the way of doing that is ending this analysis paralysis over here, hearing the call, going within and finding your true light and what it is that you truly, truly want, Cancer. Thank you so much for being here today. I hope this resonated. These felt like quite specific messages. If there was anything, do pop a little love heart or a sword or a bow and arrow or a planet or whatever it is that's below that resonates with what part of the message worked for you. And I wish you all the best. Till next time. Bye.